everyone? This is Jay Dobbins, the official Marvel DC Multiverse, and we're now episode 468. And I'll be discussing one topic, which is Marvel Studios should keep Mahershala Ali as Blade in the MCU. So, after Deadpool had been released, and of course, YouTubers were reviewing it, and fans on social media were saying that that they want Mahershala Ali out as Blade and Wesley Snipes back in. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that that's not a good idea. One, it's already too late because Mahershala Ali has already made his debut in the Eternals. Now, in case you have not seen the Eternals, was it Dean? What's his name? Mr. Whitman, Dean Whitman, aka Black Knight. And this was in a post-credit scene where he wasn't sure if he was ready to wield the ebony blade. So as soon as he was about to touch it, there was a voice in the background that said, "Sure, you ready for that, Mr. Whitman?" He turns his head to his left, and and the course screen goes black. And we were kind of wondering, like, wait a minute, who was that? And my best friend Regina was saying that he sounded like an African American, or he sounded black pretty much. That's what she was saying. So then I had to Google the post-credit scene of the Eternals, only to find out that it was Mahershala Ali's Blade. Because the voice did not sound familiar, but it did sound like a black man, pretty much. But if it was revealed that it was Mahershala Ali's Blade, so Blade has now officially been introduced into the MCU. They didn't show him, but they did his voice. So replacing him with Wesley Snipes is not a good idea. Now, the idea of having Wesley Snipes Blade in the MCU was still cool. He was a variant. But to say, because in the movie he said there's only been one Blade in the multiverse or whatever, and there can only be one Blade, which I thought they were trying to be funny, but still, everybody has the idea that, okay, we need Wesley Snipes back in as Blade. So I think that Wesley Snipes' Blade will make an appearance in Secret Wars, along with Mahershala Ali's Blade. So Blade has, Mahershala Ali's Blade, the MCU Blade movie has been yet to be introduced. I think it's going to be coming out next year, so we're still waiting on that. According to the Internet Movie Database, the show's in development. The movie is in development. So, and Mahershala Ali is still Blade, even though YouTubers like Tyrone Magnus has said that that Mahershala Ali has quit. However, the Internet Movie Database tells a different story. So, like I said, for those who are fans of Wesley Snipes, his Blade, of course, which I'm also a fan of his Blade as well. I'm gonna have to say that at first I was pretty angry that Mahershala Ali was going to play Blade in the MCU, but now I think that since he's pretty much technically been introduced into the MCU, I think they should just keep him, because it wouldn't make sense to have his voice and then boot him out. And on top of that, Kevin Feige has scrapped a whole lot of MCU projects, like Eternals 2, for example. So especially after that cliffhanger from the first film, how are they going to resolve that issue where all the Eternals have been abducted? So how do they resolve that issue? And then, of course, Pip the Troll has been introduced into the MCU along with Arius, Thanos' brother. So, what are you going to do with that? So, I mean, I think they should either connect the Eternals to another movie, or they should do a sequel. And this time, keep the politics and the LGBTQ thing out of it. So, we will see. But there was a cliffhanger in the Eternals. And there was a rumor going on about a Blade and Black Knight team up. So, like I said, he's already in it, so just keep him. That's what I believe. But, I'm guessing that Wesley Snipes fans who who wants Blade back into the MCU instead of Mahershala Ali have not seen the Eternals. So if they see the Eternals and watch post-credit scene, they already know the Blade's already in there. They didn't show his face, but we heard his voice, so that's enough that's enough for Mahershala Ali to make his debut. I'm trying to think what else. The fact that, and don't get me wrong, I like Wesley Snipes, and I was very happy that he was in the Deadpool and Wolverine film, because now we know that his universe no longer exists. Because he said that the TVA said that his universe was dying, and they never gave him a chance to save it. So I'm gonna have to assume that that he's out of the void, and now he's in, I'm guessing, Deadpool's universe. Him, Elektra, Gambit, X-23, I think they're all pretty much in Deadpool's universe. And I think that we have not seen the last of them. So I think they're also going to be in Secret Wars. Or if they decide to make a fourth Deadpool film, which is the Deadpool Course, which I think would be a good idea. Because with the Deadpool Course, you can pretty much, it might take place after the events of Secret Wars. And then, of course, you can bring back Hugh Jackman maybe a couple more times. And X-23, as well. Since she's now in Deadpool's universe along with Wolverine. So, yeah. I think they'll be in Secret Wars, and I think they'll be in Deadpool Course if they decide to make that film. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, they should definitely keep Mahershala Ali as Blade, since he's already been, So, yeah, just, people, like I said, Marvel fans are going to just kind of go with it. I'm willing to go with it. So, I think the Blade fans should do the same thing as well. Because the only thing I'm really focused on is the T'Challa variant in the MCU. And, of course, the Maximum Carnage, Spider-Man versus Venom, and Spider-Man and Venom versus Carnage. And, of course, Spider-Man and Venom versus Null, along with the other symbiotes, which could include Carnage as well. Those are only 3 things that I actually care about, Like I said, the T'Challa variant, Spider-Man and Venom, Spider-Man versus Venom, we'll make that 4 things. The Maximum Carnage, which is Spider-Man versus Venom versus Carnage, and Spider-Man and Venom versus Null. So there's those 4 things that are the only things I care about in the MCU, for the MCU at this point. So, yeah, that concludes this topic. Feel free to follow us on Instagram. We're available on iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube, and of course Twitch.